I want to be happy about the so-called basic income experiment that is being done in Finland, but it is really set up to fail, and I'll tell you why in a second. We've been talking about basic income for a long time, and there are many, many movements which, as part of the worldview that they espouse, really point to basic income as something we should be seriously considering. There's the post-scarcity theorists who say we are really heading towards a world where basic goods, including food, even services like shelter and healthcare, have no real need to be scarce and therefore don't even really need to be in the for-profit world. And we should really put a basic income as part of our worldview so that we can disconnect some of these activities from needing to have a, quote, formal job. There are those who have been following the job automation movement and the reality that technology is now destroying more jobs than it creates. If you realize that as a planet, we are going in the direction of fewer industries even having available jobs, a basic income fits there as well. The other scenarios, there are also some other scenarios we've talked about that point to a basic income. Great. So Finland is going to sort of move forward with a basic income trial. The Ministry of Social Affairs and Health has put together a bill proposing a basic income experiment to test the effects of these guaranteed, non-conditional cash payments for individuals in the country. Huge, fantastic, right? Not really. They are going to select several thousand individuals who are already receiving unemployment benefits, and they're going to say, okay, instead of unemployment benefits where you are expected to be looking for a job, and these are of limited time, and they're also conditional based on fulfilling certain requirements, job training, job hunting, etc., we're going to change it. And instead, you're going to get 560 euro per month, and you don't have to do anything. This is unconditional money where you can just get this money, you don't have to be looking for a job, etc. And then they're going to see how many of those people ultimately get jobs compared to the people who are on the conditional unemployment. What on earth are you going to prove by this? If you're really wanting to do a serious test of basic income, you need to take a sample that includes, for example, if you have 5% unemployed in the country, you have another 5% who are underemployed, and then you have 15% who are retired, for example, and 75% who are in the workforce full time. You need to give the basic income to a representative sample. 75% of your sample needs to be working full time. 5% of your sample needs to be working part-time, but wanting to work full-time, etc. You're not going to prove anything by taking people who are already on unemployment benefits and saying, now you're going to be put on unconditional cash payments and you have no requirement whatsoever to get a job. This seems to me like an experiment, Jason, that is set up to fail, because what's going to happen more than likely is you're dealing only with a group who already doesn't have a job, and you're going only to that group and saying, now you don't even need to look for one. I don't know how this could possibly be a success.
The only thing I can relate it to is I know I was hearing an article about the flood in Louisiana and how these people are without job, without home, etc. And part of the unemployment process is they have to go to, I think, 1 or 2 days a week, they have to go to unemployment, like how to become employed meetings. So I'm not sure if this is part of the catch-22 where they don't have to go through this kind of pseudo looking for job process and they can actually look for jobs. The only thing I can maybe think of that may be the only silver lining here. But
that's amazingly optimistic. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, which is if some of the mechanisms that are required to stay on unemployment actually take up time and prevent you from really looking for jobs, freeing people from that might actually get them to go and spend more time looking for jobs. The paradigm of this test is completely wrong, especially when we're considering that much of the basic income theories aren't predicated on the idea that we would use income in order to get more people working in the traditional types of jobs that we know to exist now. The point is to look at basic income as an element of the significant changes that are no doubt going to happen to society over the next 50 years. I think this is a bogus way to test this. I guess it's good to be doing something. I think it's set up to fail. And if you disagree, I definitely want to hear from you, because I don't get how we're going to get anything positive from this test that Finland is doing.